Have you ever looked around your home and wondered, what's silently poisoning us? Every single day, over 19,000 people worldwide are told they have cancer. That's one person every 4 seconds. And here's the chilling part. According to the American Cancer Society, nearly 40% of us will face cancer at some point in our lives. This disease no longer whispers from a distance. It's here, right in our homes, affecting our parents, our siblings, our best friends, and yes, even us. While modern treatments, like chemotherapy and targeted drugs, have made amazing strides, the number of new cases continues to skyrocket. So we have to ask, why? Is it the air we breathe? The processed food we eat? Or maybe the relentless stress that's weakening our immune systems day by day? The truth is, cancer doesn't kick down the door. It sneaks in, quietly, gradually, often without warning. But what if I told you there are powerful natural tools already in your kitchen, just sitting there, waiting? In this video, we'll explore 6 mighty seeds, tiny yet packed with compounds that help the body fight back, backed by research, loaded with nutrients. And yes, one of them, number 6, is so rare, it might just be the most potent anti-cancer seed on Earth. And before we dive in, I want to honor the late doctor, Frank Suarez, whose dedication to natural healing has changed thousands of lives. If his message resonates with you, drop a comment below. Thank you, Frank Suarez. Now, before we get into the details, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Elderly Health Tips. Let's spread this knowledge and take back our health, together. Let's dive into these amazing seeds right now. Coming in at number 1, macadamia nuts. Let me share something I've seen time and time again in my 40 years of medical practice. Most people overlook macadamia nuts, but in older adults, I see something remarkable when we add them to the diet. Less inflammation, better blood work, and even sharper memory. And that's not just my opinion. Science backs it up. Macadamia nuts are rich in monounsaturated fats. These are the same heart-healthy fats you find in olive oil and avocados. According to a 2020 study published in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology, just 30 grams of macadamia nuts per day helped lower LDL cholesterol by 9% in older adults, without affecting HDL. Why does that matter? Because inflammation and cholesterol buildup go hand in hand. In seniors, this combination leads to stiff arteries, joint pain, and, over time, heart disease. I remember one of my patients, Gerald, 72 years old, from Florida. He had constant morning stiffness and borderline high cholesterol. After 8 weeks of including macadamia nuts in his diet, not only did his joint pain improve, but his CRP, C-reactive protein, dropped by 21%. That's a huge win for someone in their 70s. But the benefits don't stop there. Macadamias also contain manganese, a mineral your body needs to repair damaged DNA. That's critical in aging. Every single day, our cells make mistakes. Manganese helps correct them before they turn into something worse. A 2021 review in Nutrients found that older adults with higher manganese intake had reduced oxidative DNA damage and slower signs of cellular aging. Think of it like armor for your cells. If you're over 65 and constantly fatigued, forgetful, or noticing slower wound healing, your body might be screaming for more antioxidants. And manganese is a key part of that puzzle. Here's something even more surprising. Macadamia nuts are loaded with phytosterols, plant-based compounds that look like cholesterol but block the absorption of the harmful kind. And guess what? Studies show these compounds can slow the growth of hormone-sensitive cancers like breast and prostate cancer. Back in 2018, I had a patient named Susan. She was 69, with a family history of breast cancer. We adjusted her nutrition plan, cutting out processed snacks, adding leafy greens, flax seeds, and macadamia nuts. 2 years later, her mammograms remain clean, her energy is up, and she swears by her nut ritual every morning. Research published in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research confirms that phytosterols interfere with tumor-promoting pathways, especially in estrogen and androgen-sensitive tissues. Now, maybe you're wondering, how do I know if my body really needs this? Ask yourself, do I wake up feeling achy or inflamed? Has my cholesterol crept up in recent checkups? Do I have a family history of cancer? Am I eating enough healthy fats to protect my brain and heart? If you said yes to even one of those, macadamia nuts might be more than just a snack. They might be a strategy. About 7 to 10 nuts, raw and unsalted. That's it. Small habit, big payoff. Coming in at number 2, red watermelon seeds. Most people toss them aside without a second thought. But red watermelon seeds might be one of the most overlooked treasures for aging health, especially if you're over 60. Let me explain. These seeds are packed with lycopene, a powerful antioxidant most people associate with tomatoes. But here's the kicker. Gram for gram, watermelon seeds contain even more lycopene than raw tomatoes. According to a study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, lycopene plays a direct role in protecting cells from oxidative damage, especially in the prostate, skin, and lungs. In fact, higher lycopene intake has been linked to up to 30% lower risk of prostate cancer in men over 65. I had a patient named Harold. He's 70, from Colorado. Family history of prostate issues. We added a small serving of sprouted watermelon seeds to his morning oats. 3 months later, his PSA levels had stabilized for the first time in 5 years. No new meds, just smarter nutrition. Now, let's talk about the healthy fats and minerals. Red watermelon seeds are a surprising source of omega-6 fatty acids, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin E, all crucial for aging bodies. Omega-6s, when balanced properly, support joint lubrication and hormone function. Magnesium helps with muscle relaxation, better sleep quality, and even blood pressure regulation. Zinc, your immune system's best friend. And vitamin E slows cellular aging, especially in the skin and brain. A 2021 review in Frontiers in Nutrition showed that older adults with higher dietary magnesium had better cognitive scores and lower fall risk. That's not a coincidence. If you're noticing frequent muscle cramps, brittle nails, or slower recovery after walking or gardening, your body could be low on these exact nutrients. But here's something most doctors don't talk about. There's also a cultural and emotional layer to watermelon seeds. For many American families, especially in the South, eating roasted watermelon seeds during summer picnics, family reunions, or porch chats is a tradition. That matters. Positive food memories can help reshape habits in older age. When healthy food is tied to good times, it sticks. It becomes more than nutrition. It becomes a habit with heart. I once had a lovely couple in their late 60s, James and Lorraine from Georgia. We used that exact memory. Instead of snacking on chips during their evening TV time, they roasted watermelon seeds with a pinch of sea salt and chili powder. They said it felt like home, but healthier. That shift alone helped them both lose weight and feel more energized after dinner. So how do you know if watermelon seeds could benefit you? Here are some signs to look for. Fatigue that doesn't go away, even after rest. Dry, aging skin or poor wound healing. Mild prostate or urinary symptoms in older men. A weak immune response. Frequent colds or slow recovery. If any of those feel familiar, it might be time to rethink what you're throwing away after slicing that watermelon. Try starting with just a tablespoon or two of roasted or sprouted red watermelon seeds a day. Sprinkle them into oatmeal, smoothies, or eat them straight up as a crunchy snack. Coming in at number 3, millet seeds. You'd be surprised how many people overlook millet. But in older adults, this humble grain can make a big difference. Let's take a closer look. Millet is loaded with polyphenols, natural compounds that act like bodyguards for your cells. These antioxidants neutralize free radicals, the unstable molecules that damage DNA and accelerate aging. According to a 2020 review published in Food and Function, polyphenols from millet have shown promising effects in reducing the risk of breast and colon cancers, especially in postmenopausal women. I had a patient named Elaine. She's 67, from Minnesota. Breast cancer ran in her family. We added millet porridge to her breakfast 3 times a week, swapped out sugary cereals. Within 6 months, not only did she lose 12 pounds, but her inflammatory markers went down. She said, "I feel lighter, inside and out." But millet isn't just about antioxidants. It's also rich in magnesium, a mineral that most older adults are lacking. Magnesium helps keep the heart rhythm steady, relaxes blood vessels, and supports normal blood pressure. The Framingham Heart Study found that adults over 60 with higher magnesium intake had a 37% lower risk of sudden cardiac events. Think about that. If you often feel short of breath, have mild arrhythmias, or your blood pressure is creeping up with age, millet might be more powerful than you think. One of my patients, Robert, age 73, from North Carolina, used to rely on toast and coffee in the morning. We switched him to a warm millet bowl with cinnamon, walnuts, and a touch of honey. Within 3 months, his blood pressure dropped from 148/88 to 128/76. No new meds, just food doing its job. And here's the part I love the most. Millet is cheap, easy to cook, and deeply comforting. It doesn't require fancy ingredients or a gourmet kitchen. You can boil it like rice, toast it like oats, or turn it into porridge. For older adults on a fixed income, millet is an affordable way to eat clean without sacrificing taste or nutrition. It also has a mild, nutty flavor that pairs beautifully with both sweet and savory dishes. If you're trying to reduce processed carbs like white bread or sugary cereals, millet is a perfect swap that actually supports your heart, gut, and immune system. Coming in at number 4, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds, small in size but huge in impact, especially for seniors. Let me break it down. First off, pumpkin seeds are packed with zinc, a mineral most older adults simply don't get enough of. Why is that a problem? Because zinc plays a critical role in immune function, wound healing, and especially in prostate health for older men. In fact, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that men over 60 with low zinc levels had significantly higher risks of enlarged prostate and frequent urinary issues. I had a patient, Walter, 76, from Ohio. He was constantly getting sick with colds, and he complained of weak urine flow. Blood tests revealed low zinc. We added a 1/4 cup of roasted pumpkin seeds to his daily lunch. 3 months later, he was getting through winter without a single cold, and his urologist noticed improved PSA levels. Now, let's talk anti-inflammation. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with phytosterols, vitamin E, magnesium, and manganese. Together, these compounds help lower inflammation, protect DNA from mutations, and support aging tissues. One study in Nutrition Research and Practice reported that pumpkin seed extract reduced inflammatory markers like IL-6 and TNF-alpha in elderly participants by over 20%. That's big, especially when chronic inflammation is behind so many age-related diseases, from arthritis to cancer. So if you're feeling more joint stiffness, brain fog, or frequent infections, your body might be fighting a low-grade inflammation that you can't even see. Now, here's what I find most powerful. Pumpkin seeds may reduce the risk of hormone-related cancers, including prostate, breast, and colon cancers. In a 2012 German study involving over 8,000 postmenopausal women, those who consumed pumpkin seeds regularly had a 23% lower risk of developing breast cancer. That's not theory. That's real prevention. And I've seen this firsthand. My patient Margaret, 71, a breast cancer survivor from Oregon, started adding pumpkin seeds to her smoothies and soups. She told me, "It's like giving my body tiny shields every day." Her follow-up scans have been stable, and her energy has soared. If you're wondering whether pumpkin seeds might be right for you, consider these signs. You catch colds easily or feel run down. You're a man over 60 with urinary symptoms or a family history of prostate issues. You've had inflammation-related concerns like joint pain or gut problems. You're looking for food-based ways to lower cancer risk without pills. If any of that resonates, it's time to take these little green seeds seriously. What's the right amount? Start with 2 tablespoons daily, raw or lightly roasted. Sprinkle on salads, soups, yogurt, or just eat by the handful. Coming in at number 5. Almonds. Almonds may look simple, but when it comes to senior health, they're a powerhouse. Let's start with vitamin E. Almonds are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant. This vitamin plays a major role in neutralizing free radicals, the unstable molecules that damage your DNA and speed up aging. According to a 2016 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, seniors with higher vitamin E intake had a 20% lower risk of developing age-related cancers, especially in the colon, prostate, and lungs. But the story doesn't end with vitamin E. Almonds are also loaded with flavonoids and polyphenols, plant-based compounds that actively interfere with cancer cell development. In lab studies, these antioxidants have been shown to slow the growth of breast, colon, and prostate cancer cells. A paper in Cancer Letters showed that polyphenols in almonds helped inhibit cancer cell proliferation by reducing oxidative stress and modulating inflammation in older adults. And here's what's important. These compounds work best as part of a long-term habit, not a one-time fix. So if you're over 60 and you've had a family history of any hormone-related cancers, a daily almond habit might be one of the easiest ways to fight back. Now, let's talk about stress and magnesium. Older adults often live under chronic stress, caring for a spouse, managing retirement, worrying about health. All of that takes a toll on the immune system. Almonds are a natural source of magnesium, a mineral that calms the nervous system, lowers cortisol, and improves immune response. One 2021 study in Nutrients found that seniors who consumed magnesium-rich diets had lower rates of anxiety and higher resilience to infections, including respiratory illnesses. I had a patient, George, 72, from Michigan. He'd been feeling wired and tired for months. We looked at his diet, very low in nuts, very high in processed snacks. We added almonds daily, plus a few breathing techniques. A month later, he called and said, "Doc, I finally slept through the night without waking up at 3 a.m. Here are a few signs you might benefit from almonds. You get sick often or recover slowly. You feel chronically tense, even during downtime. You've been diagnosed with precancerous polyps or early inflammation. You want a natural snack that supports the brain, heart, and immune system. If any of that sounds familiar, almonds may be more than a healthy snack. They might be part of your healing routine. Just keep the portion right. 1 ounce per day, that's about 23 almonds, is enough. Choose raw or dry roasted, and skip the sugary coatings. Coming in at number 6, sesame seeds. Sesame seeds aren't just decoration on burger buns. They're tiny, but they carry serious power, especially for aging bodies. Let's start with the compounds that make sesame so unique. Sesame seeds contain 2 rare antioxidants, sesamin and sesamol. These compounds have been shown to block cancer cells from clumping together, which is a key step in tumor growth and metastasis. According to a 2017 study published in the Journal of Medicinal Food, sesamin significantly inhibited cancer cell adhesion in models of colon and breast cancer. I had a patient, Diane, 68, from North Carolina. She had a history of polyps in her colon and was terrified of her next colonoscopy. I suggested she include ground sesame seeds in her morning smoothie or sprinkle them on salads. Her follow-up showed no new growths, and her inflammation markers improved. She told me, "Doc, I never thought something so tiny could make such a difference." But there's more to sesame than cancer prevention. Sesame seeds are loaded with calcium and magnesium, 2 minerals essential for bone density, muscle control, and nerve signaling. That's especially important for people over 60, when bones begin to lose mass and nerves respond more slowly. The National Institutes of Health reports that 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds provides nearly 90 milligrams of calcium, plus a solid dose of magnesium, making them one of the best plant-based bone protectors available. If you're dealing with stiff joints, muscle cramps, or tingling in the feet, your body might be calling out for these minerals. I remember Frank, 74, retired firefighter from Nevada. He used to get nighttime leg cramps that woke him up screaming. We added a sesame-based tahini spread to his evening snack. Within weeks, the cramps were gone. Sesame seeds also support the nervous system and mood stability. Magnesium has been shown to regulate neurotransmitters, lower cortisol, and even reduce mild depression and anxiety in seniors. When paired with sesamin, this effect becomes even stronger due to its anti-inflammatory role in brain tissue. So if you're finding yourself more irritable, forgetful, or emotionally worn out lately, it might not just be aging. It could be a subtle micronutrient imbalance. For best results, try 1 to 2 tablespoons per day, ground or in tahini form for better absorption. Sprinkle on oatmeal, rice bowls, or mix into yogurt. So now you know, these tiny seeds aren't just food. They're powerful tools for protecting your bones, your heart, your immune system, and even your DNA. Aging doesn't mean losing control. It means making smarter choices every single day. Start small. Add a sprinkle of sesame, a handful of almonds, or a spoonful of pumpkin seeds to your routine. Because the best defense often comes from the simplest actions. If this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, comment with your thoughts, and let us know what changes you're making starting today. And of course, if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to Elderly Health Tips, so we can keep bringing you life-saving knowledge, 1 seed at a time.